Hi and welcome to today's video, which is my April update for my project pan to use 23 items in 2023. And it's a rolling project pan, so when I've used items up or I've reached a goal, I can then roll another item in, either from the same category or from another. So I've got quite a bit of progress, even though I was late last month and I'm around, mid-April now filming this. So I haven't had I've only had just over 2 weeks, and to be honest, I haven't worn makeup every day. So the progress may not be as much, but there has been some substantial progress nevertheless. I'll just go through the items. The first one I've got is Max Fix Plus, the original, and that mark was March and that is April. So this is where I am up to now. Like I say, use this to wet my sponge if for foundation, and then I use it as a finishing spray as well. So that is really nice and quite just really like water really. Then I've got Vivienne Westwood's Mon Boudoir, which is lovely for spring. And see with the red mark, that's where I'm up to now. So I'm about halfway, well perhaps even over halfway now. And like I say, it's lovely. So what I tend to do is use this for 2 weeks of a month, and then I use other perfumes for the rest of the month, so that I can cycle through some of my perfumes in my collection. But that's absolutely lovely, but unfortunately it's discontinued and difficult to get hold of. The next item I've got is Nails Inc. Kensington High Street. Now last time we were up to there, it became very, very goopy and I had to actually pour it out. I did a couple of manicures, and then the third time I had to pour some out into a little cap and use it, and then the next time was the final one. So I've used it 33 times in total, and although it's been stood upright for a long time, and it isn't an old varnish, I only got it in an advent calendar in December, so I would have thought it would have settled down, but the varnish hasn't. But it is, I've even taken the balls out, there's no noise because it's absolutely empty. I don't want to tip it in case there's any, tiny residual that's now built up. But basically, I think this should show. It's showing there's a bit on there, probably because it's collected, because it's been sat up for like over a week. But certainly it's very gummy and not enough to do a set of nails. So I've called that finished. And then what I've done is I've swapped in something in its place, which is a Nails Inc. nail polish that I've got on. And what is it called? Now, would it have been great if I told you what it was called. It is Madison something Overhoose. And I've marked where I started. I've used a little, and I've just used it the once. Now, the difference between this polish and Nails Inc. is a Nails Inc. I find dries faster, but it doesn't. They don't last as long as the nail colours, and obviously with a dark colour, if it chips, it's more noticeable. So I've had this on 5 or 6 days now, maybe more, and it's only gently wearing. It's nice, but I do need a top coat, a drying top coat to set this. But it is lovely. It's nice and summery, and it's what I'd call a neutral to slightly cool tone pink. So that's I do enjoy Essie polishes. Then I've got Aveda Botanical Repair, which I use as a leave-in conditioner whenever I wash my hair. So it's probably down to around there. I've actually got, when it started, it was 117 gram, and in March it got down to 77 gram, and now it's 64 gram including the packaging. So yes, I've got quite a lot of use out of that, and I think I'm around there. I'll continue using that. Like I say, if it's not in a project pan, I tend to just swap with loads of others, and I have bags of very old hair products, which really isn't great. The next item is a BB cream by Nina, and this one I've used it a couple of times, and last month it was 46.5 gram, and this month is 44.5 grams. So I've used 1 gram, which is fair enough. I'll be using it more as it gets a bit sunnier. Now it's SPF 15, so I do use my own SPF underneath it, but it is getting quite a bit of use. Then I have Guerlain Champagne Eye Pencil. So I use that just underneath the eye, and that is all I've got left. Now it's difficult for me to measure all these things up, but basically the Guerlain started up there. It was only a bit of a pencil, and now it's down to there. So I haven't got an awful lot left, as you can see. I might have enough for May and maybe June, who knows. Yeah, but it's getting near the very end, so I'm quite pleased about that. So I'll put that back somewhere. Then the next item is a Pixie Corrector, which I think only comes in one colour. And there it is. I'm actually hitting the bottom, but it's not impossible to do because obviously it's quite a thick waxy cream. So I've still got quite a lot to go, but I tried to work from the top down, and it's a bit difficult because the neck is very narrow, and it's okay once I've got nails that are very short, or I use a spatula, but it needs to be warmed up on your skin, like on the back of your hand, before you pat it into the eye, and then I set it. So I'm getting through that quite well. So I'm on track to finishing that this year, I hope. The next one is by Tarte, and it's the Tarteist Pro Glow. And I'm concentrating on the contour palettes. I'm going to turn the mirrors back. Still smells of chocolate, perhaps a little less each month. So I've been focusing on this one. I've used this once or twice, and the rest of the time I've been using this, which is a heavy cream contour. It's quite a thick one. It's not moussey. It's quite a thick cream. So what I've been using for this, the brush I've been using, just place that down so it doesn't fall over, has been this, which is a PS Pro brush from Primark, and it is a fairly soft but dense angled brush, and I'm able to put that down there and then blend it in slightly so it doesn't pull my foundation off. We can see it today, that's where it is, and it does seem to wear well. It doesn't seem to disappear from the face, but then I don't have oily skin, mine is very dry. But yes, I've managed to get some use, particularly with this brush. It's been very, very good. Then I've got, let me just get, by Terry Jewel Powder, which I've been using as a bronzer, because I've been using something else as a blush. So there it is. You can't, yeah, I'm getting near the pan at the very bottom, to the bottom, as you can see it. I think that's hitting pan on the inner circle, but there's quite a lot now gone. You can see the inner circle rising there, the metal rim. So yeah, steady use. It's really nice, and I do like it as a bronzer shade, but it is expensive full price. It's £37. Or up to £45, depending where you buy it, if you can get hold of it. And then I have, let me just look, I'm sorry, I'm looking down to see where I'm up to. I've got the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder, Dim Light. Now, I've only used this a couple of times, to be honest, so there's going to be little or no progress. It's a baked cream to powder, and a little goes a long way, but it is a really nice finishing powder. But I'm not using it at the moment with the foundation that I've got on. Then I've got a Too Faced Love Light, but Blinded by the Light, and it's all worn off at the back. It's been used so much now. And look at the mirror, the state of the mirror. Now, if you can see, a lot of it has been, it's now quite low. If you can see, I was starting at just the foot of it because I'd worked more on the top of the heart. But it's now, can you see, getting quite low? So it shows I've made quite a lot of progress. And rather than use a very fine fan brush, I've started to use this one, which is by Eco Tools. And this is a very soft angled brush, and I'm able to pick up the highlighter and put it, now I do use it there on the brow bone and on the cheekbone, and above the lip and on the nose as well. So I'm able to get quite a bit more use than if I was using this, which I had used it over many years with this very fine brush. I mean, if you have expensive formula and you want to, or a product that you want to make it last a long time, these brushes are the way to go, these type of brushes that are very thin fan brush. Then I have, let's see, Rowan Disco Eye. There's a bit of progress here. I'll just show it you. There. I've got it on. Have I got it on today? Can't remember. No, I may not have it on today, which is unusual because I normally put it on all the time. But it's getting there. I don't know when I'll see pan. I really don't know. But there's quite a dip going on. But it is a very nice product. I do like that. And then I have another eyeshadow, and it's Autograph. Now, the very next time I use this, after I did the last update, I hit pan, and I've expanded the pan, and I use this after I've put foundation over my eye, and then if I put any of the pixie corrector onto the eye, then I'll powder it down with that. So it's often useful to have something skin tone or something that won't be too jarring, or something similar colour as the base, as the colours that you're putting on your eye down. It helps blendability on highly pigmented shadows. So I do like using that one, and it's absolutely butter soft as a matte goes. And then I've got Daniel Sandler Long Lasting Waterproof Eyeliner. So I'm still getting quite a lot of use out of this, but this was very, very long when I started, and now there isn't a lot left. If I can try and show you, that's where I'm up to there. So I have used about over half of it, I think. So I hope to get that finished, perhaps over summer. And then perhaps I can introduce another shade. I fancy a change from black, really. So I'll put that down there. Then I have two lipsticks together. I've got the first one is by Lipstick Queen, and it is Sweet as Honey. So I've been wearing this one quite a lot, but it started to melt because I had it in a pocket on me. So it may not seem that I've used a lot. There's a little bit gone. So there's a little red line, and then there's a black line above it, which is the last time. So I have used it quite a few times, but again, it's only been a short span since my last update. So yeah, but it's still some progress there. And the same with the Bridget by Stila, which is a balm, a very dense waxy balm that's menthol. I'll try and get that up. Now, where is that? Stila. And I've got it, and there is a new line. So there isn't very little gap. It's the shortest gap there has been. There isn't a lot of movement on it, but because I've only used it a few times. But you can see in the container, because it was near the top, that it is getting a little bit more lower down. So that's there. Let me just see where I'm up to there. Then I've got Emmy Makeup Forever Lab Shine. I'm going to be honest, there is no movement in that because I haven't used it since the last update. I've just have not had the opportunity. So yeah, that's something I need to perhaps get a scoot on to try and use a bit more. And then I've got a Rollerball by Aromatherapy Associates. And in fact, I'm just below the line, but I tried to make the line as best I could. It's in red. So I've made quite a lot of progress. In fact, the biggest progress I've made has been in the last couple of weeks. And that is a deep relax at night. So I tend to put that on my pulse points and in the crease of my elbows at night. Then I have a Becca Champagne Pop Crayon, which is this, which I use, so this is, just better if I showed you, there's quite a bit, so and it did stick out. Originally it was like that, so I have used quite a bit, and I use it there, and then I put the highlighter on top loosely. So I don't think I can really show that. Where am I up to? Becca Pencil, there it is. It's a little bit, but it's better than nothing, the progress. Like I said, I do use it rather than on my cheeks, on the bones, on the brow bone. So there's a little bit of use, a few mil, maybe 2 or 3 mil, but it's going in the right direction. And I want to use it before it goes off, because obviously Becca's been gone quite some time as a company, although they're part of Smashbox now. I think there is still some Becca products through Smashbox in the US, but Smashbox have gone from the UK as well. Now I've got Benefit Gimme Brow. Now I haven't measured that because just not easy to measure, but basically we're still in the same position. I've not needed to roll it up. I'm still using it a little bit. I use it very lightly because it's a bit dark for me. And I was hoping it'd be finished this month, but perhaps next month, because I don't think I've got any more. No, it is. So I've only got that little bit to use up. So do you know, I'll just see if I can get it done, but I don't want to do heavy brows for the sake of it. But I really do like the Benefit formula. Then on all their brow products, except for the gels, I don't like a clay gel because I haven't got much brows to put in place. They just stay in place because they're very, very fine and close to the skin. Then I have a By Terry Eye Crayon Mini, and that's in a bronze, and it's very much like there's one identical by both Laura Mercier and Bobbi Brown, and I've got a Bobbi Brown that's identical. So this is where I'm up to with that mini, and if I can, that's what it is, what it started. So I'll try and show you. That's where it is. Where is it? There, in there. So it's tiny, tiny progress, but I do use it, and I'll show you how I put it on. Haven't used it today, so I'll put a bit on now. I'll just put it over the eye there, and it is quite nice and creamy and doesn't feel heavy on the eye. So yeah, that's some steady progress. And then the last item I'm not very keen on, but I'm going to finish it. It is the Kiko Unlimited Foundation. When it started, it was 120.5 gram, and now it's 117 gram. So I've used 3.5 grams, which is quite a lot. Now, the problem I have with this is I use a face oil on top of my standard skincare. Then I use a sunscreen, because this, I don't know if it has an SPF 15, which isn't a lot, but it dried the skin out. So my skin is looking older and drier because of this. So I was hoping that as it got warmer, that it would allow any oils that I've got to come through, and perhaps it would look more glowy. But this is a proper matte, and I don't think it's particularly good for dry skin or mature skin, unless you have very oily mature skin. But the Unlimited is the same, but they've actually changed the container. It's more of a squat jar now at Kiko. This is in Warm Rose 1. And it is slightly warm, but it's one of the cooler ones compared to others that are light in this range. This is the lightest one. So yeah, the fact that I've used as much as I have is good. So I'm hoping perhaps in the next couple of months I might get this finished up. Although, like I say, it might be better for high summer when it's really, really hot, because it may well be, because I can have oils do come through my face, so maybe it's better to use that then. But I want to use a little bit of all my products each month if I can. So that's where I'm up to. I hope you found this useful or interesting, and hopefully I shall see you again in another video. And I'll probably be wearing the same clothes because I've not had the opportunity to really film very much. So I'm going to make haste. Isn't it make haste while the sun shines? Make hay while the sun shines. So I'm going to do that now. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I shall see you in another video. Otherwise, take care of yourselves, and bye for now.